Welcome to my apiary. Happy New Year. It's January the 1, 2022. And crikey, is it cold. You look out here, how sunny it is. Now it's, I don't know, 10 o'clock. Look how low the sun is still. And you might not guess how cold it is. I watched a video. Mike Berry was out yesterday working bees. I think he said it was 30 C. I said Fahrenheit, but he put it on the screen, and it said 30 C. That's a warm day here in the summer. Well, right now it is minus 30 C here. And there is just a barely perceptible breeze here, and I'm thankful for no wind, because that becomes extremely dangerous. I'm gonna get in the bee barn here and clean up a bit. I've been in the house for a week, hardly been out at all. And yesterday morning it was worse. Yesterday morning I woke up and it was minus 38 C, and boy, that's cold. No wind, which is great, and really sunny, which is nice. So you stand in the house and the sun burns your face through the window, and then you come outside and you freeze right away. So the bee barn the fan hasn't been running because the building is shedding enough heat that likely it's the heater that's keeping things at the correct temperature. You can hear the heater starting up over there now. So you can see the controller here says 3 degrees. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to vacuum up a bit. There's really not much bee drop for this time of year. I'm a little worried about that. Strong colonies generally drop quite a bit, so the fact that they're not dropping that much makes me worry. There's somebody in here. There's reducers laying on the floor. Okay. Reducers here. They're not hard to move, they're just lying on top of the hives. But there's at least a mouse in here. You can hear him over in the corner. Get a trap or something. I don't want him in here. So anyway, not anything real too exciting. I'm just going to vacuum up the bee drop. I use my shop vac for that. I got things vacuumed up. My headlamp on here, so you can see one of the sticky traps down there. I only bought 4, so I only set 4 out in here. Maybe get some more if I don't catch any varmints. Where's that vermin? I'm not sure which. I'll plug a hole in the back of the building here. Maybe that's where the mouse or squirrel or whatever it is. I'm not too concerned about a mouse or a squirrel. Squirrel's not going to bother the bees. chew things up in here a bit and make a mess. I've got a bag of potatoes over here I'm storing in the cool building. But yeah, squirrel don't bother much. Mouse generally not. They may go in an entrance and huddle up in there, and you know wherever a mouse is, they're going to make a mess. What I would be concerned about is a shrew. I had a shrew in here a couple of years ago, and it took out at least one colony. Shrews are trivia. They're the world's smallest mammal, and they eat bugs. Bees are bugs, so they eat bees. It was interesting to see, sad, but interesting how they work. There was a smaller cluster in that hive, and the shrew would go over and get a bee and carry it over to the far side, and then chew the thorax off it. So there was just wings and abdomens laying there. Heads maybe, I'm not sure. I think thorax. I think typically they go for thorax because that's kind of where those big muscles are. And it didn't decimate that colony, but that colony didn't survive. It got too small. So that was really a shame. So a shrew is what I'm mostly concerned with in here. A mouse or a squirrel, until I get my overhead doors replaced and in better condition, there's not much I can do about that, but traps and sticky boards and whatnot, which I have in now by the 1st of January, so 2 to 3 more months of this. I hope the bees will be okay. You want to see in some entrances? Let's do that. It's always kind of fun. I'll use my white light as long as I can. So here's a nice nuke, looking real nice and healthy. So they don't all look like that, but that looks pretty good. And I remember seeing this one before. I don't know, be alive, I have to get my infrared to find out, I guess. When you start seeing dead bees on the front here, doesn't mean the colony is dead, but it just means that they don't have the resources to haul those out. You see these stronger colonies? There's like one bee there. You know, there's really not a lot of mortality at the entrance, so you can kind of look down the row, start seeing mortality like this, and you know, there's a cluster. It's a bit smaller. There's no mortality here, and yet maybe there's nobody home at all. I don't know. Hard to see. These few have always been. Oh, this one's nice. I'm coughing because I have the CO2 stat in here set rather high, so it's not conducive to humans. And I've been in here a while. So in this kind of busted up palette, well, that looks pretty good. Over here too, that one looks nice. Smaller, but it's still looking healthy. That's a nice one. So these two I was looking at, they're, you know, weak or dead, I don't know, and I couldn't see anything. There's one other way you can look. This one happens to be on top. So if you pop this thing, anybody in there? It's hard to run the light and the camera. I don't know that there's anybody in there. What do you say? We'll get the hive tool and open it up. Okay, so this looks rather dead. And If it's not, I'm going to be rather dead here in a minute. So it's got a foamy on it. Let's see. I don't see anybody home at all. So, is this my first casualty of the season? Oh, there they are. There's somebody down there. You maybe can't see them. See? Look at them. They're not very big. I'm not tall enough. I need a ladder to get up in there. Well, just leave them alone. So, these nukes were very strong, so I would be quite surprised if they succumbed. Let's pop this one. This one was showing rather dead. If they're not, they'll tell me give me what for here. Let me see. See anything? I don't see anything. Put that back in. I don't know that this is, yeah, this has got a blanket too. Anybody home? There is nobody in there at all. There is nobody at all. Nope. So, this is telling me something. Three properly emerged queen cells. A little bit of feed on that frame. Three properly emerged queen cells. So I'm thinking that this one attempted a requeen too late. And that's a 2020 queen. Too late in the season. There is feed in these frames, but very little. And most of it's open. So they dwindled. You know, I knew there was one of these that was without a queen. I had a queen end up in a honey house. And I really had not much to go on to find out where she came from. So this might be it. Who knows? Kind of nice to work hives in January, eh, Mike? I don't get that chance ever. So that's heavier. So, but it's all open feed. So, my winter loss begins to mount. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they because there's nobody in here. They expired quite a while ago. I mean, after feeding, but they didn't even have the workforce to cure the feed, right? They didn't die and were robbed out because there's plenty of feed in here. So this gives me good resources for spring to boost those who might need a little extra feed. I've got some here. Stop bars while I'm at it. It's easy to clean while they're cold. The wax just pops right off. See, they're fairly heavy. Again, you know, some cured, but there's still feed throughout the field here. And yeah, so they just attempted to requeen too late and it didn't work, or that queen got taken away and they attempted to requeen and it didn't work. So there's emerged queen cups throughout. Some of them are much older though. See, even the outside frame, it's heavy with some feed, but it's not. It's capped here a bit. So that's the story on that one. Didn't make it. That one's light. Not much feed in that frame. That doesn't matter where it goes, really. It's just a placeholder to keep this feed until spring. So that'll stay there until spring. See how that queue of the dead bees here kind of led to that eventual conclusion. So again, not what you want. I do my best to not get the queens in here. There's just so many little variables that sometimes they sneak in. They'll get above the queen excluder somehow, and then you take all the honey boxes and there's a queen in there. I guess if I thought about it, I might be able to develop a workflow that would inspect the boxes a little better in the bee yard. Might be a bit time consuming, but you know, you weigh that as the time that you'd spend. Would that offset the time, you know, the time and cost of replacing that colony? I don't know. You lose one colony, it's not that bad. You know, you make a new queen, you can replace that colony pretty easy, but if you end up losing half your colonies, then that's a problem. So I need to stop fussing with my bees and go in. It's actually I'm getting a bit cold out here. So I'll stop fussing with the bees and say Happy New Year to everybody. It's wasn't sure we'd make it this far. January 1, 2022. Hopefully we make it a while yet. I hope you make it. I hope you're doing okay. Tough it out, you know. Talking to a friend this morning, and you know, he kind of reminded me of something that I'd said in the past, and I've said a number of times, that you know, when you got lemons, you make a nice batch of lemonade. hopefully you've got some sugar to go with it. 2021, 2020 definitely has been some lemons. There's been some good developments too. But I'll get off of here now. I'm starting to cough. The air quality in here isn't great. I think it's 2,000 ppm right now. You can go over and look at that stat. See what the air quality is. 2,700. That's no wonder I'm coughing. I couldn't remember the max. This is set to max, so it doesn't come on very often. I think the max is 5,000, which won't hurt the bees. It's just not pleasant for me. I should maybe lower that, but that's another time. We have 3 on the temperature, and the heater is keeping it at that. And so for now, I will say have a great day and have fun. Thanks for watching.